Welcome to Catholic Mom Talks. As a mature adult or Christian, we have to take the necessary steps to guard our soul. And by that I mean becoming extremely vigilant. And it's kind of like, in our culture we're very gung-ho on dieting and on exercise and on taking care of our bodies. And that's important. I'm not saying that's not important. But we don't have a real good sense about taking care of our souls. And this is something that we need to be aware of, and it needs to be a part of our everyday maintenance routine spiritually, okay? And in a way, it's just becoming aware, maybe aware of those things in your life that are bringing you away from God. Maybe it's becoming sensitive to those things that are not going to bring you into a deeper relationship with God. For example, maybe you have a group of friends at work that like to go out and drink on Friday night. Maybe you're a recovering alcoholic. Maybe it's not good for you to be around people that are drinking. It's not that you don't love the friends. It's that you can't be in that situation because it's not safe for you. I don't know if that makes sense. It's becoming vigilant, becoming hypersensitive, so to speak, right? Not that you're nervous or anxious about it, but it's more like a decision in your heart to want to do the will of God. It's like a holy disposition to want to be in good graces with God, in a right relationship with God. It's also very much maturity, spiritual maturity. It's like you understand this is what I need for my soul, and this is what I need to do to get there. So, for example, you may need to do maintenance. That might be like a house cleaning in your house. Maybe you were involved in things that weren't good. Maybe, it could be anything, you could be like involved in, crystals or the New Age movement or witchcraft or things in your past. Maybe you have those remnants in your house. Maybe you need to get rid of those books. Get rid of anything that is going to bring you away from God. And, people ask sometimes, well, why is it evil? Why is witchcraft, and those types of things are just for fun or that type of thing. They're very dangerous. And the reason why is they open up portals for the enemy to come into your life. So you want to get rid of those things out of your house. Any kind of Ouija boards, any kind of games that are, not okay. It's like cleaning house. Okay, cleaning house. Getting rid of anything that's going to put you in the narrow cage of sin. For some people, it may be you were addicted to pornography. You need to get rid of all that stuff. Clean out your house. Throw it away. Maybe you have bad movies in your house. Get rid of those. Get rid of anything that is going to be an obstacle for you to get to God. Anything that's causing a wall for you to get to God. A lot of times I think witchcraft and things of these nature, people want power in their life. They don't have any power. Okay, so they go to this other source to get power. But what you don't realize is the power is not coming from God. It's coming from another source. And that source is not a good source. That's an evil source, okay? It's the enemies of God. And no matter how, people may say, oh, it's good magic, it's good witchcraft. No, it's all bad. It's all bad. It's not okay. It's not safe, okay? And I'm not bashing anybody else's religion. I'm looking at this from the standpoint of being a Catholic and being in God's graces and being faithful to God and wanting God to be the center of your life. Wanting God to be in control of your life, okay? That's where I'm looking at this from. And it's also for the Catholic to be safe, to protect yourself. I don't know if you remember the scripture where Jesus says, he says, if your eye causes you to sin, cut it out. He said it'd be better for you to go through life without your eye than to be thrown into Gehenna. Well, Gehenna at the time was a trash dump where they burned all the trash. So in other words, he was saying, this is not okay. It's better to go through life without that problem than to be thrust into hell, okay? So there's a reality there. There's a reality. If you don't make good choices, if you don't want to be with God, there is an alternative. And that's very much part of it. And God does not send us there. I want to be very clear on that. He never sends us to hell. We choose hell by our choices. So if we don't want God in our life, then we have to choose the enemy. I don't know if that makes sense. We want him to be the ruler of our lives, okay? So I'm going to go back to the idea of cleaning house. Cleaning house and becoming vigilant. What does that mean? That means not hanging out or going to bachelorette parties where you have dancers. It's not going to bars where there's dancers. It's not gambling if you have a gambling addiction. It's not, it's protecting your soul from dangerous territory, okay? And the reason why is because all of us have our weaknesses. We all have parts of ourselves that are weaker, that need God to come in and transform, to heal us, to strengthen us. We can't do the battle on our own. I don't know if that makes sense. So you can't put yourself in the near occasion of sin because you know you're going to sin. I mean, we got to realize that. So we have to take the reins of our life and say, no, I don't want that in my life anymore. I don't need that to give me my life anymore. I have something better. I have something much, much, much better. I have peace. I have joy. I have happiness. I have love. I'm in a right relationship with my children. I'm in a right relationship with God. I'm in a right relationship with my parents, okay? These are valuable things. These are the things that we want. These are the things that are going to bring us happiness, you know. Life is so full of joy. It's so ready to be lived. It's exciting, okay? So much creative energy in us to create, to build up beautiful communities, to bring people into the presence of God. Our lives are magnificent. We don't need these things to give us our life. Okay, we don't need these things. We don't need them to weigh us down anymore. They're blocking us from the goal, okay? They're blocking us from getting closer to God. They're blocking us from real intimacy. They're blocking us from being who we were meant to be and from doing what we were supposed to do, okay? So we're on a journey. We're called. We're loved. Protect yourself and clean your house. Thanks for listening.